Welcome back to Whiskey with E. I'm Eric. Now today we are going to touch on a subject. Is Blanton's worth the hype still in 2025? So you know what? Let's find out. Now, it has been over a year since I uncorked a Blanton's bottle to sample. Now that particular bottle was this one. I had a spare one. So this one was dumped on the 19th, the 10th month, 2021. Barrel number 381 from Rickhouse 15. Now we have another Blanton's bottle, so let's see if it is a different barrel, or a different Rickhouse at least. Alrighty, box. Okay. Now, I'm sure I don't have to get into specifics, but for everyone that doesn't know, Blanton's, highly sought after, very hyped. Now, horsey top maybe just makes it so popular, or is it this grenade-shaped bottle? Well, don't throw it. Alrighties, now we're gonna find out if it is worth the hype still. Now, let's see what this This one is also from Rickhouse number 15, but it is barrel number 378. What? When was this one dumped? Dumped on the same day. How about that? Alright. Well, dumped on the same day, but different barrel, so we are going to try this barrel. So this is bottle number 101 from barrel number 378, Rick number 15. Alrighty, so let me uncork this and then we'll, for everyone that hasn't heard, we'll have a little read of the label. Alrighty, so if you have never opened a Blanton's bottle before, they have these pulley tabs. I've been through this before. You guys are going to think I'm a broken record, but for everyone that hasn't heard, you have pulley tabs. Alrighty, now you want to grab the pulley tab and swing it around. There you go. Pulley tab comes off. Wax bit can come off if you really wanted to. There you go. I'm just going to stick it in the box. Whoop. Pause for the cork pop. Okay, that was a very disappointing cork pop, but it's what's inside that matters. Alrighties. Let's pour some up. I just rinsed the glass. Mind the dirty glass, guys. Healthy pour, why not? Alrighties. Let's put the cork on that. Oh my goodness, this fly better go away. For everyone that was wondering, it is L. And for everyone that doesn't know, every horsey has a letter right there in the back, so it will spell out Blanton's, and each horse is a running motion. So each horse looks different, practically like it's running. There you go. Alrighties. So, let me have a little read of the bottle for everyone that hasn't heard before. We believe this is the finest bottle of whiskey ever produced. Whoa, big claims. Affording you extra flavour, bouquet and character. Alrighty, Blanton's Distilling Company. Each bottle is recorded with the master registration. Distilled and bottled by Blanton Distilling Company, Frankfort, Kentucky. Now, even though it says that, everyone, will feel that it is a Buffalo Trace product, but maybe it's not even under the ownership or the umbrella anymore. We're not going to get into details, but let's have a little read at the back here. Alright, for everyone that hasn't seen the box before. Oh yes, I haven't told you, this is 46.5%, which is 93 proof. Alrighty, so this is the original single barrel bourbon, so this is typically the release that you will find in the States. Now we have one that is 80 proof. I don't recommend it. I mean, maybe for an 80 proof bourbon, it is probably a very good 80 proof bourbon compared to other things that is 80 proof. But if you're deep on your whiskey journey, even this is a low proof, guys. But for everyone that's just starting off, everyone that hasn't gotten into barrel proofs yet, or you know, if you want something approachable, rounded, quote unquote smooth, this will probably be your jam. But before we get into all that, let's have a little read. The finest bourbon in the world comes from a single barrel, and it is never blended with whiskey from another barrel. Sorry about the lighting, guys. Sorry about the terrible quality camera. It happens. It's a costly, painstaking way to produce bourbon. For a bourbon's peak maturity varies from barrel to barrel, and only a master distiller can determine the exact moment the whiskey has extracted enough flavor from the wood. Thus, he diligently monitors each barrel until it's aged to perfection and is deemed worthy of the Blanton's label. That's why our bottle carries no age statement, just the hand-marked information you see here. What else? That's the way Colonel Albert B. Blanton first bottled his private reserve bourbon nearly a century ago. Colonel Blanton believed the center cut or middle sections of Warehouse H were the best for aging his bourbon. Personally tasting and choosing each barrel, these barrels were reserved and bottled for ambassadors, dignitaries, family and friends, becoming the world's first single-barrel bourbon. His time-honored tradition lives on today as only a handful of barrels from the center of Warehouse H are selected to become Blanton's original private reserve. There you go. I wonder, this center bit of this, the center cut of Warehouse H. But what Rick number? Well, low Rick numbers or high Rick numbers? I wonder if anyone's tried all the different Rick numbers to work this out. Now this one is a lower Rick number, so Rick number 15. Okay. So let's have a look at the color, guys. Color is, it is dark considerably, but not dark per se, if you know what I mean. This would probably be a 4 to 6 year product. Don't quote me on that. It is a nice golden hue, isn't it? There you go. Alright. I don't want to bore yous, but here we go, on the nose. Oh. Alright. I guess your signature vanillas, your caramels are there, but nothing fully jumps out, guys. You are getting some oak presence. It's not coming across like a cherry oak, like cherry cola or anything like that. It's not an exceptional nose, but it is good. You're not going to floor it, I guess. You're not really going to have anything bad to say about the nose. I guess some slight baking spices, but I guess not clove. Now, when I'm thinking like clove and all that, I'm like the cinnamon and all that, I'm thinking like wild turkey. There's none of that. I guess it's just a well-rounded kind of nose. Nothing too scary, nothing too challenging. I guess this would be good for any beginner bourbon to try when you're on your Blanton's tater hunt level. Now, will I be buying another bottle of Blanton's? I will share with you that at the end. Alright, but for now, let's have a taste of barrel number. What barrel number was it again? 378. Alright, barrel number 378. Let's see how different it is to the other barrel that we tried. which was barrel number 381. My goodness, they're like, these barrels would have been sitting so close together. Alright, here we go. Let's have a taste, guys. Cheers, everyone. I mean, quote unquote, I know some people don't like the word smooth, but you're gonna drink this and you're gonna think it is smooth. You're not gonna get any ethanol bites now. This is my first of the day, so... Is it my first of the day? First for right now. Alright. Honestly, the finish isn't too long, maybe because the proof is not too high. Keep in mind, I have been enjoying the Wild Turkey 12 now. We will be comparing it, so that's not even going to be a comparison, guys. But you know what? Let's pour up some turkeys right now. Wild Turkey 12. What's left? Alrighty. Another dirty glass. It's alright. Oh man. Now, this is one of my favorite releases of Wild Turkey now. Wild Turkey label. Alright, so obviously if I ever get to try the Russell's 13 or Russell's 15, that will probably be the best turkey products, possibly, you know. But as a Wild Turkey label, I think the 12 year is the best. Now, let's there's just more, guys. There's more dark, rich notes, that cherry cola, the age elements. Now, keep in mind, this is non-age stated, but, I mean, they don't really even state it, but if you Google it up, I'm sure they're going to say 6 years, 4 to 6 years, is it? Now, yeah, that's what I mean, non-age stated. Now, this is retailing in Australia at the moment for probably $130-ish. Keep in mind, I was already humming and ahhing back when it was $100. Alrighties? Back when they were $90, I would rather buy a Wild Turkey rare breed, but I guess I was more for the proof, and I felt there was a whole lot more going in the rare breed. But not taking anything away from the Blantons, I'm just saying the price, it's getting pretty rough now. Now imagine if the original is 130-ish, now the gold is heading towards 200 something. Straight from the barrels are like 300 plus now. Now, I was even humming and ahhing on the straight from the barrel when they upped the price to $250 from when I first bought it for $180, $190. I think that was like my first YouTube video I ever put up, me going to hunt for a Blanton straight from the barrel. Boy, we've come a long way. Not really. Alright, let's have another sip. Second sip, here we go. I mean, see, people would be thinking that this is a special occasion pour. Now, today is not a special occasion. Today is raining. If anything, it is a terrible day, but you know what? How to make your day a little bit more better. Why not crack a Blanton's? Even though it's probably not the bestest bottle to enjoy if you're deep in your journey. Now, if you are still early on your journey, still, you know, trying new bourbons, still under 100 proof, yeah, you're gonna love this. You're gonna love it. may I suggest, don't pay over the suggested retail price. I mean, I don't even really want to pay the suggested retail price anymore. So that being said, will I be buying any more Blantons like these originals? I don't think so. That's just my personal opinion. Because for $130-ish, I'd rather get more Wild Turkey 12s for $150. And I hear these are being discontinued, so... You know, when things get discontinued, you know, you kind of want to go out and try and get it before it all goes, you know. I guess I am a little sucker for, like, you know, even when the labels change, I'm like, ooh, better go hunt for the old label just to tuck away because they're going to be harder to find in the future. But keep in mind, everything is going to be hard to find in the, you know, everything is limited in its own way, you know. Like, yes, Blanton's bottles are all the same, but you can get real iffy and be like, oh, but it's a bottle from 2021. So, you know, I mean, if I seen this out, and, you know, would I be like, oh, a Blanton's bottle from 2021? No, surely I wouldn't be that silly to be like, no, I gotta get that Blanton's bottle. Unless it's a different Rick number. Oh, I don't know. Let's just say maybe the low Rick numbers aren't as dramatic in flavour. Ooh, that's the turkey, I think. Man. Yep. I guess the only way to find out. Let's have a sip of this glass. I'll know straight away if it's a turkey. Oh, yep. Yep. I know. 101 proof. 93 proof. The extra proof points gives it an advantage. The extra age gives it an advantage. This isn't even a competition. But, oh my goodness, like, the finish on that 12-year carries on. You're getting that oak vibes. Now, back to the Blantons. See what I mean? Is it even worth the hype, guys? I don't think so. Personally, I don't think so. But I'm not taking anything away from the experience. I'm just saying, compared to the turkey right now, but Blanton's straight from the barrel. Blanton's gold label. I'll be buying those still, even though the price is high. See, even that, I'm still humming and ahhing. I've been telling myself I wanted to go buy these new straight from the barrels that I've found, but prices are over $350 now. Ugh. It's making me not pull the trigger as quick as back when it was 180 or even when it was 250. You know, 250 was pretty expensive still. But nowadays, whoo, 350 plus for a blend straight from the barrel. But keep in mind, online I was just looking up for other, you know, barrel proof releases. Now I did find Stag Pick, like a Stag Junior Pick for $450. I found a Weller foolproof at $370 or something like that, and that's a pick. So I guess that's the price that everyone is paying in Australia for barrel proof, unless you're sticking with the old and faithful, a Wild Turkey product, rare breed. Everyone knows I advocate for rare breed, but even now, here in 2025, Wild Turkey rare breed is retailing for $115. I didn't like it when it went from 80 to 100. Now, keep in mind, I haven't been working of lately, so the bourbon budget has diminished. So, you know, from a rare breed being my everyday drinker to nowadays, I haven't bought a bottle of rare breed for some time. Now the label has even changed. Normally I would have gone to look for the older rare breed label to tuck away to be like, that was my old favourite rare breed. And then we should compare it with the new label, this and that. See, I haven't even had time to do this. But, so that being said, will I buy another Blanton's original, this label? Probably not. Now, is it worth the hype? I think that question could go maybe straight from the barrel. Could be worth it. I mean, oh my goodness, it is a hard one. Now, here in Australia, being 350 plus for a straight from the barrel, that in US prices still could be good. So, that being said, maybe I should just still stock up on the straight from the barrels to give to American friends, or if anyone wants to visit and come to Australia and want to bring some Russell's 13s or Russell's 15s or any awesome things that I can't get, then I'll be sure to chuck you straight from the barrel, I guess. Trading. Like Pokemon cards. Here in Australia, it's just not a big bourbon culture, so people aren't out lining up to go buy bourbon. Blantons and all that are just still probably sitting on the shelf. People don't line up to buy things. We don't really get store picks unless you go online. Then you can find some store picks online. I did find some Buffalo Trace store picks. So from a $60 40% Buffalo Trace, you can get a store pick, which is probably the same proof point as the release in the States, 46% I believe. Alright, let's try this Blanton's again. Final sips. Let's break it down. Here we go. I guess if you... Man, I don't think I like smooth anymore. Like I said, if you're early on your journey, you're going to love this. You know what? It's going to be worth the hype for you, because compared to drinking a Jim Beam or anything else that is of lower proof, it may have a bite or that ethanol note. You're not getting that here. But to me, this is really thin. It's really thin right now. You could almost... I guess when you get used to drinking barrel proof, guys, you imagine how it is coming out of the barrel. And now when I drink this, it's like you could taste all the water in it. That's my problem. I mean, I'm even experiencing that with this, but at 101, it's still acceptable. And the extra age and the extra oak, it's worth the price, you know? So that being said, what would I rather? Of course. I mean, that's not even a competition, guys. That isn't even a competition. But let me know in the comments if you enjoy your Blantons. Are you still chasing all the letters? To be honest, I'm missing tea. At first I was, trying to have all the letters, all the horsies, unopened bottles, Eventually I'm like, you know what, bourbon's made to be drank. And we can always just keep the corks and put it on something to make that Blanton's thing. Not that we have a stave, but we can work that out, eh? Man. Yeah, it's not bad, but I don't think I'll be pulling the trigger on another Blanton's bottle, guys. That is just me. So like other people, they would say, yeah, it would probably not be a rebuy, but I will probably be rebuying more straight from the barrels when I can afford it. I have never purchased a gold Blanton's. I did just see some of those. So that being said, I'll probably still be pulling the trigger on that purely because I haven't tried one. But the original Blantons, I won't be getting any more original Blantons, that's for sure. Now, let's combine up the two together. Here we go. There you go, a bit of a blend, eh? Up, bit of a mixture. Yep, here we go. Alrighties. Oh. Now note, the the Blantons, it did come across a little bit sweeter. Obviously, the turkey, there was more age components there. It's that sweet oak, it's more dark. But let's see how they go together. Maybe we need to actually make a blend. I think I like that more. Hold on. You know what? Let's make a blend. Let's go some more Blantons. Boom. And then let's go a hint of the turkey. Alright. Now, when you're making blends, I used to make full bottle blends. So I used to maybe buy 3 bottles and have another bottle and, you know, equal parts. For example, I used to go rare breed, Russell's 10, Russell single barrel. Perfect blend for me. Eventually, I started doing some rare breed, Russell single barrel, Wild Turkey 13. That was a nice blend. I was trying to replicate the Russell's 13. Not that you can, you know, it's all about trying to change the experience. Now, even that being said, a lot of people would probably leave this on the shelf. Maybe, you know, maybe you'd bring it out to give guests on special occasions, something like this. Me personally, you know how I'm saying, you know, like it felt a little bit thin and, you know, a little bit proofed down for my liking, and it's nothing too fancy. I would probably blend that, to be perfectly honest. Like me putting the rest of this turkey into this Blanton's would make this Blanton's be 10 times better, if that makes sense. Then it's even higher in age. There you go. Alrighties. Even got darker. There you go. Alrighties. On the nose. Yeah, you are getting more of the cherry cola note coming through now, so the slight vanillas, the slight caramels, obviously. But obviously, you guys, when you make blends, now I used to make blends, right? I used to seal up the bottle. I used to not go back to it until 1 year later. I know that's a bit extreme. Maybe you could totally just marry it for a month or something like that. But you want to give it time to do its thing, you know? Chemically bond, mix together, you know? Make its magic. And honestly, yeah, you'll see a big difference, guys. Call it extra air time, call it some, you know, bonding time. Now, that being said, this was a fresh crack. This was an uncorking. I think if you left this to open up for too long, it's gonna be too flat. Because personally, I already think it's a little bit flat, if that makes sense. That sounds so bad. I'm not dissing on Blantons, but I guess I am a little bit. Just this version. I can't hate on the straight from the barrel, even though when I first tried my straight from the barrel, I didn't like it. I'd rather a rare breed. So there you go. But now that my palate has evolved, maybe I would enjoy it straight from the barrel. That being said, I really should crack it straight from the barrel. But now my fear of missing out, or, you know, the collector mind is like, ah, but you've held on to those straight from the barrels for so long. I have a 2019 bottle, a 2021 bottle. Alright, if I'm going to crack a straight from the barrel to review for you guys, I'll have to go get the newer release. And I guess I'm going to need 2 bottles. Oh my goodness, that's going to be like $600. Keep in mind, I do not make any money from doing this. We ain't no YouTubers, guys. I'm just like you. But instead, I'm talking to my phone, which is a terrible phone, mind you. As you can tell by the awesome video quality. No microphones. How's the audio? Oh my. Much love to all my subscribers. I appreciate everyone hanging with me, dealing with my bullshit, you know, putting up with all this. One of these days, it's going to be fully 4K, fully HD, crisp quality. I mean, I wouldn't want to watch this on your TV. I mean, if you're just going to watch this on your phone, I think it'll be alright. Alrighties, you know what? Let's try this blend. Oh my goodness, we're going on to 32 minutes. That is way too long for just a Blanton's uncorking. I guess I am talking a bit of shh. But let's try this blend, guys. Cheers, everyone. Honestly, to me, because I've been drinking a lot of barrel proofs and it's still, I can still pick out the wateriness, but the adding in of the Wild Turkey 12 gives that extra oak finish on the very end, which honestly, it didn't have that extra long oaky finish originally. Hold on. Let me double check. Oh, I should have just gone live, doing one of these ones. I'll probably have to come live soon. I think I'm going to need to light up a cigar or something like this, so I'll probably go live for that. Don't know if I'll make a video. I mean, good on him for still able to have a semi-decent nose. See, that sounded bad. For proofing down a barrel to still, you know what I mean? Like, man, that would be rough. I guess it would make sense if your barrel was really, you know, really hot or really something. Because I have had some independently bottled products, for example, from Heaven Hill that just drank hot. And it was until I blended it with some Russell Single Barrel that it was awesome. There you go. So don't be scared to blend and experiment. You know what? Keep in mind, if you are not drinking a single barrel, you are drinking a blend. Alright? So essentially, every kind of release that you may find in your store, if it doesn't say single barrel, then that's someone blending things for you, you know, a blend of different barrels or whatnot. So don't be afraid to experiment, especially if you have a few bottles open. Then, oh man, that's my problem. I never have enough bottles open to try different things, you know. I only open up a few, you know. I don't open up more than, you know, I enjoy. And even then, when I crack open a nice bottle, I try to let it last. How long ago did I crack this? I'm trying. Now, let's try that Blanton's. Let's see if that finishes as oaky as the blend. No. It's like the slightest oak. I mean, there is no spicy finish. There's no... That is just... Man, I hate saying smooth, but that is just smooth. Approachable. Watered down to suit the palate of the beginner whiskey drinker. If you're early on your journey, you're going to enjoy the Blantons. This one. But if you are deep in your journey, then I know you probably stopped buying Blantons long ago, unless you're buying it to give to a friend or something. But that being said, is it worth the hype? Yeah and no. Yes, if you are early in your journey, and yes, if you are chasing the gold or straight from the barrel, maybe it's... I can't speak for the gold. I know straight from the barrel is decent, but the price point nowadays is getting up there. Can I even justify spending $300 plus on a straight from the barrel? Looks like we're going to have to in the near future, if that's what 2025 is about. Now, people say if people stop paying high prices for bourbon, maybe they'll drop the prices. I don't know. I don't know about that. What do you guys think? If you stop buying things at a high price, do you think it's going to drop? I think it's just the times, guys. I mean, if you had told me years ago gold was going to be like $5,000 an ounce or three, you know, I would have laughed. So, there you go. Maybe it's just price increases for everything. Man. But, lucky I tucked some away, because I don't think I'll be paying $130 anytime soon for any more Blantons. Like I said, I'd rather be chasing up the Wild Turkey 12 years, since it is being discontinued, supposedly, rumours. But you know what? Cheers everyone, drink responsibly, like, comment, subscribe, let me know if... Are you still chasing Blantons? Have you tried the Blantons? Do you want to try the Blantons? Or have you given up that hype train? But I bet you want to try the straight from the barrel though. Every time I see a straight from the barrel, I still want to get it, you know. Obviously, every single barrel is going to be different, but man, I just love my shit uncut, untouched, unwatered down, you know, straight from the barrel. So yeah, I think I'm still going to be pulling the trigger on the Blanton straight from the barrel, even when it's 350 plus. But oh my goodness. There you go. Is Blanton's worth the hype? You might have to answer that question yourself. Not worth the hype if you are going for this one. If you're an experienced bourbon drinker, deep on your journey. Maybe worth the hype if you're early on the journey. But even if you're early on, I don't know. I was about to say if you're early on your jet, maybe a Wild Turkey 101. If you can get a Wild Turkey 101 cheaper than a Blanton's, higher proof, probably the same age, I'll just go for that, guys. And nowadays in the States, you got the 8-year Wild Turkey 101. We haven't even seen that here in Australia, but yes, we got the 12. I take it the 12 has got to be better than the 8, right? I have seen the 70th anniversary. I have not got it yet, but you know what? I have to end this video because it's going on to 40 minutes and it feels like a live stream. Alright, cheers all. Oh, better with the turkey in it. Better with the turkey in it. Alright guys, like, comment, subscribe, let me know. Do you enjoy Blantons? Do you still hunt for Blantons? Are you still chasing the letters? Is it worth the hype? Maybe yes for some, maybe no for others. But is straight from the barrel still worth the 350 plus Australian dollars price tag? Maybe that's what you guys are paying for in the States. I don't know. But the currency difference, that would make our prices valuable, I think. Alright, I'm going to talk shit. Anyways, I'm going to be repeating myself. Much love to you all. I'll catch you all on the next one. I think I'm going to light up a cigar and enjoy it with this, so that will probably be the next video, unless I go live. I guess time will tell. Later, all.